The UFL Gambling Podcast Week 7 reaction show and power rankings episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Best Ball Mania is here, is live with $15 million in prizes. Sign up with the promo code TCE SGPN to claim your special pick plus your first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. That's underdogfantasy.com, promo code TCE SGPN. And remember, as always, folks, too, let it ride.
Hey, this is Pac-Man Jones. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Football is a unique American experience. A game described by one turn-of-the-century critic as crude and barbaric, with little chance of survival. But survive it did.
I don't give a damn who you are. This is America, Jack. You know how to play Ladies High football? I don't get it.
Being played in the United States Football League.
We sometimes forget that football, being the consummate team sport, is a great deal more successful when you do play as a unit and don't rely on individual talent. Frankly, I'm impressed with the USFL.
America, this league is good for America, and football is a sport that is made for television.
That is football.
I'm like, spring football is going to work in America.
You play to win the game.
And now it is time for our USFL report.
And we're back on the UFL Gambling Podcast Week 7 reaction show and power rankings. Look, folks, if you're listening to this, fantastic. But if you want to watch it, hop on over to YouTube, youtube.com/@UFL Gambling Pod. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, because we are live talking United Football League, where crossroads meet bullshit and opportunity and happiness. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dad, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
We had 4 games. I read an article. They're talking about Friday nights next year, which means there could be a next year, and I am on board. Let's go. Football. What else is there to like? You know what I mean? Not much out there. All right. I am joined by my co-host. He is the host of the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. Some call him, the man in the box, a.k.a. the bet detective. I give you a seat, Jay Sullivan. How you doing, buddy?
Good, Dundee. How are we doing? Great weekend. All the mothers out there in spring football. All the mothers of spring football. Speaking of which, did you see that sign that Sims's mom had there? I breastfed Marcus Sims. That's pretty good.
That was very good. That was very good. Yes. And you know who else is very good? This guy right here. He is the host of the Old Fashioned Football Podcast. You've heard him all years past on the NFL Gambling Podcast. Give it up for Justin Mark, a.k.a. J Mark. How you doing, buddy?
Another rainy day in Iowa, but we had another weekend of football, so I guess I can't complain, right?
No, I can. I'll do all the complaining for you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'll do all the complaining for you.
Don't worry, listeners. Plenty of complaining coming our way.
That's what the point of the show is, right?
Yeah.
First complaint. Let's go.
What's that Nirvana song when they do that?
Yeah.
I got a new complaint.
Something in the way. We could also go something in the way there.
For sure.
But there is something in the way. That was our just spot on handicap of the Arlington Renegades, looking like the 72 Fins. All right. Just putting it on the shitty Memphis Showboats. That was game one. And really, here's the thing about this one. I was in Joshua Tree watching this game.
All right.
In the desert, friend's house, just sitting there. My wife was occupied watching the game with, balcony doors open, just looking out into the desert.
Yeah, let me hear about this. Was White Tiger with you?
White Tiger was with me. And, well, I learned something. I think the games with no fans are more enjoyable in the desert with no people. There was something zen about it, having the game on.
Yeah.
With 4 people there. And then just looking out into the desert with nobody there.
That's something maybe they should market that.
That's what I'm saying. I think they should do that. I think there's an angle here.
UFL, the league for peyote. And kind of mezcal, some kind of acid, some kind of some kind of fucking psychosis tripping. Yeah, so you're out in the desert by yourself watching some UFL football.
Dude, I was sitting on like a covered balcony with the TV.
It sounds amazing.
Just staring off into the desert. And I felt like I was at a UFL game because it was just, you could hear nothing. You know what I mean? You just heard nothing. But Luis Perez, how about Luis Perez? 27 of 32. They don't teach you. They don't teach you to do that on YouTube, do they? 9.2 yards of completion, 3 touchdowns. Lindsey Scott threw his first touchdown, I think, of the season, and Davion Smith had over 100 yards, 47-23. We were all over the Renegades here, all 3 of us, and
it was great.
Over cash for me too.
Yeah. It was our bomb. The over hit, no problem. But Arlington was our favorite play of the week. At least mine was. I had stacked Perez and Peyton and DFS. Got off to a great hot start. No one else came through. But after that, I mean, Perez was amazing. RIP to my 400-1 future ticket on Arlington, as they were officially eliminated. Which is a shame. Because, I mean,
they're the 3rd best team in the league, right?
You can make an argument that they're the 3rd, 4th best team in the league. They're definitely in the top. I mean, obviously it's St. Louis and Birmingham, and throw a blanket over the rest. But
no. There's one team out there you're shitting on still that's just looking like they're in.
We'll get to that. Let's just talk. Let's just give Arlington their flowers for their first victory. I mean, put 47 on. They were up 30 at one point. A garbage touchdown made it that score even closer than it was. But yeah, they were just humming. That one play that got reversed too. They were lateraling fumbles and shit. I don't know even how that got reversed. But yeah, that we saw that coming. Now they go to spoiler mode. I think they're going to continue to win. It's a shame they can't get into the playoffs.
I actually think like they're one of the better teams in the league.
Absolutely. They have been all year.
Yeah. The numbers tell you. The numbers fucking tell you. You look at this thing and no one is close to their numbers offensively in the whole league besides Birmingham. Those two have a pretty decent gap on the rest there. And I don't know. It's a shame that, early in the year they got had by a couple of games. They dropped the touchdown in St. Louis. But Memphis, coming into the season, I thought Memphis had one of the more talented rosters. DeFlippo should be fired.
6 straight losses for DeFlippo. Yeah. They got a lot of great players. I mean, they're the biggest disappointment of the league this year, obviously. They've been outscored 218-130. I mean, this is Carnell Lake's defense, and yet another game with more than 30 points, 47, even crazier. I mean, it's just disgusting. They've phoned it in a while for now. I don't see how they're going to even finish the season out. I mean, they'll finish. They'll show up, but will they show up?
J Mark, what'd you make of this game, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, just like we called it, Memphis is terrible. Arlington, we thought was going to pour it on and get their first win. It is unfortunate that they've dropped some games, and I mean their season's done. I think it's an unfortunate look for the league too. I mean, we have 3 teams that have nothing to play for. 2 are already locked into their playoffs, and we have 3 weeks of football left. So,
I'll get to another unfortunate look from this league in a second here. But But yeah, I mean, we cashed on this. Shout out to the chat. Drunken Irishman. Yes. We got Feach in there saying I recommended this podcast because CJ's out there.
Yeah, bringing a CJ in.
There you go.
Whoa, is he breaking news there? What did he say? Sean Kramer want to cancel the pod.
That's UFL Jeff related. You know what I mean? Look, Sean and Kramer.
That's fake news.
Sean and Kramer support a league with a cockanimi kickoff. It's not even football anymore. They're into soccer. All right. And we had the funeral for the NFL. But anyway, anything else you want to say about this game? I mean, look, I don't know if we're technically recapping this game, but it was an ass whooping.
It was pillar to post explosion, exactly how we predicted. I mean, whatever. You know, we thought it'd be a great show like this. It was better than I expected. It was almost sad in a way because I feel like if Arlington just could have had a couple of those games, you know, that go their way. They've lost so many games, final buzzer, some by their dumb rules, some by their own mistakes, whatever. They just couldn't get it together. They have the talent to be out there. So if they could have just pulled like 2 or 3 wins, they'd be eligible to make in the playoffs and they could make a run.
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
so it was more sad about what could have been. They did get hosed, but whatever.
The Memphis game, Memphis beat them on the bullshit
for sure
12-yard thing. It's a stupid rule. Anyway, next on. Next on. Doesn't make a difference. We got Stallions 30, the Battlehawks 26. I ended up hitting on this, but if you got it late, you definitely lost because it closed at 5. This game, I thought the Stallions played the worst game of the season. And I really did. When you think about this, block punt, fumble punt return, and a missed chip shot field goal. Come on.
Yeah.
That's 17 points right there.
They didn't play great. St. Louis didn't play perfect either, though, but I was impressed by St. Louis. They played good. I mean, I don't think you could come out of that game saying Birmingham was that much better than St. Louis.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
I would disagree.
Of course you are. First of all, what did you hit? How did you hit? What line? Yeah. I mean, I push. I had Birmingham minus the 4 and a push. What you said you hit? You had lower than the 4?
I got 3. Early in the week, we mentioned this last Monday on the show that number would go up. By the time we recorded, there was 3.5 Monday and Tuesday, and then by the time we recorded, it jumped to 4.
I didn't see any of those numbers.
Oh, trust me, it was out there, buddy. It was out there.
I need receipts on that one.
Yeah,
because
I can show you those receipts, buddy.
All right.
And
well, congratulations. That's very sharp of you to get that 3. I didn't see that anywhere, but
dude, when we reacted on Monday, we brought that up.
All right. What was that? DraftKings? I'd take it.
Yeah. DK.
Yeah, I did see it 3.5 DraftKings Thursday morning. And then by the time we did our show, it was at 4.
That's what I'm saying, buddy. You got to get those lines sharp.
You got to get those lines sharp. Fantastic. I got the push. I was happy to get the push because it went off at 4.5, 5 everywhere by the time it came to kickoff. But yeah, I mean, and even that touchdown St. Louis gave up at the end was 2. It seemed like, first of all, the overall weekend theme seemed like there was very poor tackling, and then those 2 D-backs running into each other like a white angle, like a fucking goddamn Three Stooges routine for that final touchdown was that was just amazing.
I do want to just talk about this for a second because I don't know how you deduce that when you look at I understand the final score was close, but Birmingham doesn't normally kill themselves like that on special teams specifically, right? 17 points off the board basically on special teams, right?
How was the 17 point? They dropped the punt
inside the 10-yard line, right? Or a 14-yard line, whatever it was.
That was very costly.
They block punt, which led to a touchdown.
Wait, right? Was there 2 block punts?
No, there was a block. There was a fumbled punt return by
the block punt was at the end. They didn't score at that one, though.
They did not score, but that was still like inside the 20, right?
No,
they scored.
It was at the 50. It was the last possession. It was like with 30 seconds to go.
Yeah,
Listen,
you're right. Okay.
They tried to lose the game.
And then the missed chip shot.
Missed 40-yard field goal. Those things happen.
In this league? No, that does not happen, dude. But the numbers.
I'll give you 10 points.
Sell me on this then. They held with Birmingham's secondary dinged up. They held them to just 150 yards passing. Right? They only had 214 yards. You're not going to win many games with 214 yards of total offense. I would like to know if
I thought
any teams,
I thought both teams were sloppy. To be honest with you,
I would agree. But I'm saying, I'm just saying, like, I don't think. I would be curious to know if any team with 215 yards or less has won a game in this league.
I'm just saying, I don't think Birmingham imposed their will like they have against every other team in the league and just like look like the more dominant team. They didn't look dominant at all. Yes, they played bad, and they still got the win, and you have to give them credit for that. But I did not come out of that thinking, oh well, St. Louis can't win that in a rematch.
I mean, I
in the Dome, which will be happening in a couple weeks for the championship.
Well, because the league's terrible, but
I got a new complaint.
They should lose in the first round if you put another team in. But Birmingham averaged 5.5 yards a rush, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? Come on.
Fred Durst on your side with a sharp number at the 3. I like that. Dundee is the market, pal.
Mm-hmm. J Mark, your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think I'm somewhere right in between you guys. I don't know if Birmingham was like this super mega team better than Battlehawks, but I also do think that they looked quite a bit better. It was sloppy, but they still had 133 more offensive yards than the Battlehawks.
Mm-hmm.
The rematch, it will depend on where it's played, of course, but the main thing going forward, I think, is going to be McCarron's ankle. At one point he was yelling it broke. I don't know if it broke or not. He absolutely was affected by it. I don't think that threw the game much. I think they were already too far behind. But I don't know. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, J Mark, what is the update? Did he break his ankle? He said, I broke my ankle. Was that sarcastic?
It's like when Tyson said, I broke my back, spinal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it didn't really break his back.
He was definitely hurt and he couldn't move around, but like, you didn't break your ankle, AJ. With that, we would fucking
say. I don't think he broke it. I mean, he might have broken something.
Yeah,
tore something a little bit.
Spinal.
Strained it. I don't know.
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
But yeah, I mean, it really sucked to push this game because I felt like. I'm talking about on the SGP show.
Sure.
On the SGP show we got it wrong, I believe, because the number was 5. On this show was 4. Yeah.
4. I don't recognize the SGP show and their poaching of our talent.
Well,
CJ, I also like how Colby's like Friday nights, which is great, means we're gonna have another year, and this league sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, of course. That's the beauty of the complaints.
It's still better than no football. Like having football out there with the hope that someone could walk in and correct it is still better. But I'm not the biggest fan of this league.
You know what's funny? Birmingham has not even locked up a home championship game. Is there 3 games left or 2 games left? But they somehow,
3.
which they haven't lost in 3 years. Yeah, they still haven't locked up a home conference championship game. I mean, they will next week, but just.
Well, I mean, I don't even care if it's at Ford Field. It's a neutral game. That's not a home game for Michigan. You know what I mean?
That's a tough draw for them too, by the way.
It is. We'll talk about that. But before we do that, I want to tell the fine people out there that the UFL Gambling Podcast is, first, you're listening to the UFL Gambling Podcast. And if you're looking for more ways to get paid watching hoops, check out the WNBA podcast. It's back this week. Plus, did you know you can get every single podcast SGPN releases all in one place? Just smash the SGPN network feed wherever you listen to your podcast. We're also brought to you by NYRA. Bet the second jewel of the Triple Crown with NYRA bets. Sign up today for a $200 deposit bonus with the promo code SGPN200. Join now to claim your $200 deposit bonus just in time for Preakness at nyrabets.com/SGPN200. Get ready for nonstop action with NYRA Bets evening promotions. Bet $50 each on Belmont at the Big A and any track with a first deposit. With a first post of at 6 p.m. Eastern on Friday for a $10 bonus, win or lose. Need more? Earn a $15 bonus, win or lose when you bet at least $75 each at Belmont at the Big A and Monmouth Park. Visit nyrabets.com to opt in and get in and get your bonuses at nyrabets.com/SGPN200. Boom. Registration closes before the Belmont at the Big A third race post time on the day of each contest. But check out nyrabets.com/SGPN200. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. The NBA playoffs are here, and our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, wants to make it a lot more interesting. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Play in their pickup games as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats like points, rebounds, assists, and much, much more. Make entries of all basketball or mix and match across your favorite sports. You can win up to 100 times the amount of money, and it's a ton of fun. Underdog's available in 30 plus states, including California and Texas, and even the great country of Canada. So what are you doing, folks? Hop on over there, sign up. And when you do sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. All right. We are back on the UFL Gambling Podcast. And, by the way, did you guys take the over in that? Because I hit on the over in that St. Louis Stallions game too.
I know you're a totals guy.
What's up, buddy?
Just
what's up, buddy? You hit that over? You guys were on the under, weren't you? You pieces of shit. Right?
I was on the under.
I knew it. I knew you worthless scumbags were on the other side of this one.
Whew. Wow. Well, I didn't know they were gonna be so bad in special teams. Gifting away points didn't even happen.
That is true. So, gotta walk a fine line here.
I was right, but it was tightly to the vest played and very sloppy and not greatly executed offense. That's for sure.
Yeah. And then we had a nice ass whooping in the next matchup as the Michigan Panthers with Brian Lewerke and my guy. 22-9. I don't know this. I feel like this score was like 45-0, but it was 22-9. This was an ass whooping, and I don't really know what to say besides just that I thought the over would hit. It did not, but DC's got a quarterback issue now with multiple injuries happening to their team. And by the way, what's my guy's name? Reggie Barlow. If you're going to challenge that hit where your quarterback got tackled like a normal person, that was the worst moment in the history of football. Because you can't challenge it on the other levels. Like that was the worst moment. Like what? He tackled him. He tackled him.
The play that got Tommy knocked out?
Yeah. It's fucking horrible.
Yeah,
absolutely horrible.
It was helmet to helmet. That's what they do. I mean, nowadays. But yeah, they went. We had all the hits of quarterbacks there for DC. So you had Tamu go out, and then we had our Leandro Francois coming in there. Yeah, Jaden McDaniels, the old Baylor Bear that you love, Kobe. I mean, we had all our favorite hateable quarterbacks out there for DC, just getting run amok. And first of all, I wanted to say real quick about the coaching too. And this was league wide over the weekend, but Tony Baloney started it with that game. What are they doing with going for 2 all the time when they're up 3? When all you have to do is go for 1
and make it a
4-point game. And then not only they go for 2, but then they're doing a dive up the middle from the 5. If you're going to run up the middle, go for 1. Oh, it's fucking so tilting. Watching these goddamn coaches.
How do you guys feel about the 1-2 3-point system in this league right now?
Well, I know where you're going, and that's for the next game. Antonio, 9 points does seem a bit much. That seems like 2 scoring. You know what I mean?
I would just it's a little too gimmicky for me, but I
don't mind the one you have to run it in or throw it in from the 2, from the 1. I don't mind that instead of kicking it. The 2-pointer from the 5, I like that. When you get to the 3-point level, now you're entering rock and jock level. basically.
Yeah. What's that Ice Cube league where you can hit like the 10.3?
Yeah, the big three for sure.
Kind of reeks of that. I don't know. J Mark, do you like the three tiers of scoring?
I like it. I do agree that a 10-yard play is probably a little too easy for 3 points. I mean, we see 4th and 12s get converted at a very high rate, right?
Yeah.
So the 10 yards is probably a little easy for 3 points. And if you think about, the next game, you're down by 9, you should probably have to work a little bit harder to get 9 points than to score your touchdown and then just have another 10-yard play.
Yeah.
But I do I like the possibility of that games are never over because you can score 9 points. I just think from the 10 is probably too easy. They're making it too easy for it to flip, the game to flip quickly.
I just think if a team has whooped your ass all day, the game should be over. You know what I mean? Call me crazy, but yeah, you look at this. Tried to tell you about my boy Bryce Perkins. All right, 11 of 13, 85%, just about 9 yards of completion. Now the only problem is, and he did have like a touchdown called back because of an offensive pass interference. They didn't need to pass the ball. They were just fucking them up with the ground attack. So I mean, I guess I can't. When you're running that good, I guess you can't tout that much because I feel like anything will be open in the pass because you're got to be selling out on the run here. But I still thought it was obvious he was very good.
I was just gonna say, I will say, Michigan Perkins was great, even though there were short passes. I'm not gonna discredit Perkins, especially.
Yeah, he added an 80-yarder called back, right?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Which was bullshit too. That offensive interference on Sims. Come on. Especially after they just showed the mom with the I breastfed Mark Sims sign out there. They had the moment and the announcer's like, give the mama the speed. This is where she gets my speed for my titty milk. I mean, it was amazing.
Well, I know that. Bring the home,
but I will say, Michigan running, they ran all over DC. A lot of it was just very bad tackling on DC. Like, they're in positions. And I believe Greg Williams had something to say about it.
Big 4th and 1 stop. You went to a bear front. Why did you go that, Coach?
Well, the bear front, Buddy Ryan a long time ago, and that's what we've always done. We've been able to load the box, make the lineman block, and then also I was looking for a bear to make a tackle. A few more missed tackles, and I'm going to put a bare foot up somebody's ass.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, you got it.
I mean, come on. They really could tackle.
Greg.
That I love Greg Williams. That first pop off, I mean, they're not even trying to wrap up. They're just lunging their fucking bodies into them. And I guess that's a, side effect of this league. But I mean, even in the NFL, they don't teach tackling anymore. But to see it on this level, it's much worse and obvious.
Yeah, I mean, Buddy Ryan's, if he had to watch today's football, whew, it's a good thing. He's 6 feet under. I mean, Matt Colburn, 137 yards rushing. I played him last week in DFS. He gets like 7. This week he gets 137.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, dude, I still think, I made this case. You're 2 injuries away from a championship. And to me, if with Bryce Perkins at the helm, I know it's one game and I would like to see it where the balance is a little more even to see. Cause everyone was wide the fuck up. Like, there were some wide open receivers in the second half because the run game was so strong. But I think Michigan stumbled upon a great situation. I can't wait for Mike Nolan to fuck it up and start Danny Etling in a week.
Oh man, DC not eliminated yet, by the way. Just want to put that out there, even though they are going to St. Louis next week.
They should be though. I think I said it to you guys on Sunday. This team's pathetic.
Yeah, they're
offense, defense, their efforts pathetic. The coaching that was great last year has really fallen off. It feels like maybe it's the personnel, but the team, just that lack of effort and everything is terrible. I mean, you guys talked about tackling at this level. You should be making those plays. You should be able to tackle because you're fighting for a job for next year, whether it's the UFL, the CFL, the NFL, whatever. You should show that you know how to fucking tackle. Right.
Yeah.
And it's just not there. Like, the lack of effort is pathetic in my opinion.
Well, I would argue with one thing here. DC is still better than San Antonio. And Now we can pivot to that because I think DC should not be eliminated because to me, when I think about a playoff with the San Antonio Brahmas, I mean, I think they're one of the worst teams in the league. When you really go week by week on the, hold on, let's load this up. Let's load this up. But hold on, the undercash and Panthers defenders, I lost money on that as well, but I did hit on the Panthers. Let's just talk about the Brahmas schedule because I just feel like, can I actually go team by team and find a schedule on this fucking website? Brahmas 15, Houston 13 or 12.
15, 12.
This is the worst game. This is the game that had me fucking just quitting on the fucking league. This is bullshit. This game sucks so much, dude.
Come on now.
This is the stupidest. Hold on. Let's talk about, to me, I'm not even talking about the 3-point play. The biggest play of the game is a fumble on a kick return where they happen to be, for some reason, using a camera at an angle from up in a fucking blimp. Are you fucking kidding me? The biggest play of the game. No one's got a good angle on this thing. No one's got a good angle. Fail by the league. I am so sick of the Brahmas winning these fucking games. They're a terrible fucking team. And to me, maybe he fumbled, maybe he didn't. I would like to see a closer replay. I don't understand how every other replay and every other moment of the game you can get in there. But this one, for some stupid reason, we're using the drone angle. Bless you, buddy. And
sorry.
You know, tell me you guys weren't watching this being like, wait, they don't have a sideline angle. They're using the fucking way up there. This was pathetic to me. The league total failure from the league point of view to me.
I would have been surprised if Curtis Johnson was in charge of the camera angles as well. And really running the camera. He might be directing the broadcast.
Look, you're in our way. Can you go further up?
I mean, it wasn't even just the fumble kickoff. It was the face mask penalty on the goal line, the mismanaging the clock. But that's what you expect from Curtis Johnson. This is just what Houston does. They find ways to lose these games.
No, this is a league problem, though. This is a league problem, in my opinion.
How about Wade Phillips, though, son of a bum? I mean, it's like they just told him that they won the game at the end. We won. Hey, the way he like celebrates, like hey, just a happy grandpa. And they had what a win. How'd we do that? Are you sure? Okay.
Oh man. Yeah. I feel like the Brahmas have 3 bullshit wins, and
they have a lot of bullshit.
It's just such a bullshit product because of it, man. That's why, to me, my anger about the UFL sucking.
Okay,
it's not. I pushed on the bet. I didn't lose any money, right? I had Houston +3, and it's just we watched them get their ass whooped for 59 minutes. You know what I mean? And it's like for 1 minute they put together a drive. And then they steal, and then you don't even have a replay on the biggest fucking, you have a garbage angle of a replay on the biggest play of the game. I understand Curtis Johnson had some self-inflicted shit there, but I'm sorry. This happens too frequently in this league where the team that was way better than the other team loses.
J-Mark, can you give us an update too? It was great to see Marcus Thompson back. Did he pull a George Costanza and just act like he didn't quit and just showed up to work and just showed up to the game?
Yeah, he posted something on Twitter about, I love how riled y'all get when I'm just joking or something like that.
Just joking.
He pulled a Rudy. He came back to practice. They were going, Marcus.
You wrote a week-long fucking goodbye speech to us on Twitter. What do you mean, just joking?
Dude, tell me I'm not wrong though, man. This is it's gimmicky, man.
I got a question for you though.
Yeah.
Because our RIP to Dormandy as he was benched, and then Kevin Hogan came in and he was as boring as I remember him at Stanford. What if they go to? Don't they have Jaden Delora on their fucking roster? They
drafted him, right? They did draft him, but that is that for next year's season, or can you play the rookies
I think they can play a rookie this year. The controversial, hot rod, polarizing Texas Stater.
I don't know, man.
I'm getting into the future if they get him out there.
I just think the league sucks with that. You have a team now in the playoffs that has 3 wins on this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, okay. I guess the playoff race is over.
They're not in the playoffs yet, but shouldn't you be saying that they can make the championship now? This was 2 injuries. I know that technically Gormley wasn't an injury, but Hogan's their 3rd quarterback. I mean, that's the.
I don't think they're very good. I mean, look, I don't think St. Louis is like the overhype of St. Louis is crazy. I do think St. Louis is better than San Antonio, but it's like, it wouldn't shock me for one day if they put it together and beat St. Louis. I don't think there's some fucking juggernaut, but I just think when you start to do this, it makes me uninterested in the league. It makes it really does, man. And this goes on all levels of football to me. Like if this was happening in college or the NFL, I would say the same fucking thing. I would say, yeah, okay, look, I understand like once out of every like 200 games, if you pull one out of your ass, you've seen it every once in a while in college or the NFL, you know, but like this is like like I said, this specific team has done it 3 times. And I don't know. I just think that the league suffers from it.
I will say Wade Phillips, the defense, Wade Phillips, he has them going. They lead the league in sacks. At least they're doing their end of the bargain. But like, and J Mark called this out, AJ Smith's offense, they get figured out midway through the season. And it's just, you know, there's just nothing to do. But I'm back in on this team. If they put I'll get Hogan out of there, get Jane DeLaura in there. At least he's fun. Hogan is so
Have
dumb.
we even seen him in uniform?
Who
Just
cares?
because they draft you doesn't mean you're actually on the roster.
He's got to be around. He's got to locate him. That's the first job. He's somewhere in this country.
We got a POW
locate
here.
him. I'm sure he's in Texas somewhere.
I don't know, man. I thought this game was ridiculous, man. And I purposely waited to watch this game.
Yeah.
Before having to do some shit. And I went to go do some stuff with my wife, and I'm just sitting there like, that was a waste.
The peyote wore off at this point.
No, Sunday I was back home. Sunday I was home.
All right, you weren't.
Sunday I was home, but I just thought like, why did I watch this game?
Sure.
It's just that's what it does to you when you have cockamamie rules that cheat, and not only if it rules, but also I don't understand how you fuck that up on the biggest. It's 9-9. You got like a minute and a half left in the game. It's like every play you got to get the camera involved in, and it's like you're shooting this from up in a blimp at like a crazy angle.
Yeah,
fuck.
The director made a choice. He went with it. He failed.
And he might have fumbled. I'm not saying he definitely. Right. I'm just saying like it's pathetic that the game, that my wager, the whole investment. It comes down to this, and also the 3-point conversion, which I think is stupid too. But J Mark, your thoughts?
I mean, I know you hate it, but you can start to, see a tide turn, right? 7-1. They were 7-1 at one point, and that's a great time to hammer them because they are a better team than Houston. I mean, we can all agree.
Not on the field on Sunday. Not on the field on Sunday. I'll argue that shit until I die.
Yeah, well, but J Mark makes a
tide
good point,
turning. See, as I remember, I was raised in the desert, but tides kind of turn. It's easy to see a tide turn
because I think the gambling markets and the rules don't go in unison.
Yeah.
All right, Bush.
I agree. Yeah, the gambling and the rules don't go together. Right. I mean, they're down by 9 and it's 7-1.
Yeah.
They're bringing Hogan in that Houston doesn't have the game tape on, and that usually you get a spike when their backup guy comes in.
Right.
I mean, it seemed easy.
Nice.
Dude, the Brahmas are 5-2.
Good pull, J Mark.
The league sucks. How can you have a 5-2? How can this team be 5-2? I watch them every Saturday, every Sunday. They're not good. They've manipulated this shit.
All right. They're terrible.
I got to wait till him celebrate one more time. Like he's at the goddamn
son of a bum. I'm not going to. All right, listen. You can tear the league down all you want, but I will not. I am not here for son of a bum slander. Matter of fact.
Woo! Good God. Good God.
God damn son of a bum slander. Look at this guy. Look at this grandpa. How could you not love him?
Yeah, and guess what? We were going to interview him a few years back on SGP.
He's going to give you some caramels.
And he told me he's got to go on vacation.
Uh-huh.
Right? He's going on vacation. We'll record afterwards, right?
Yep.
damn if I don't see him 48 hours later at a at a college football spring game. All right, in the city he resides in. All right. No, I never followed through after that. It bothered me. But
I was just gonna say, is this supposed to be a bad story about him? Makes me love him even more.
Me too. That's why I bought the book. That's my book. All right. No, but Jesus, guys, I don't know what the fuck we're doing here. Like, does that really get you excited about the playoffs? Like, they're basically.
Well, speaking of playoffs, just a futures update: Birmingham -145, St. Louis +240, Panthers are 8.5 to 1, Brahmas 11 to 1, and DC 37 to 1.
Get in on St. Louis all day. They play that filthy championship at the filthy Battle Dome. They have San Antonio as the game, the fake fucking record team. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's a good point. If I was going to play anyone, I'd play St.
All
Louis.
day.
They're going to walk to that.
They have a
game,
home game. It's a rigged fucking league. Why would you put see? That's what was cool about the USFL one is that you put it in Canton because it's neutral to everybody.
Right.
It's like, no, let's just like we're gonna do a home game for the team with the biggest advantage.
Nobody wants to go to Canton, Ohio for the goddamn weekend unless
you couldn't pay me to go to fucking St. Louis to go to a Battlehawks game. All right.
What are you talking about? It's got crime and ribs, both things you love.
If I go there, I'm going to Busch Stadium. All right. Do a fucking flip like Ozzie Smith.
Yeah. Get on a Clydesdale, go up the Arc, do something like that for fuck's sakes.
I don't know. Let's power rank this shit.
Right,
San Antonio's dead last.
All right, we all
they
know
should be dead last. Didn't they steal that game from Memphis? Didn't they? They got the 2 4-12s. I'm out. Anyway,
so we go. I think we all have 1, 2, 3 the same, right? I would say.
No, my 3. No, we don't.
Oh, okay, beautiful. Well, we all have Birmingham 1. You can't.
Yes.
There's no arguing against that. Even though they didn't look great, they still won a very exciting game back and forth. I went St. Louis too, but it sounds like you're going to go with your Panthers there. But
well, they have the same record and they played head to head, and we saw Michigan beat them. And since then, Michigan's gotten a lot better at the quarterback spot. and meanwhile,
Perkins, yeah, all right.
Not only Perkins, even Etling. Remember, Etling didn't play that game either. So
Etling was much better.
Lewerke,
sure.
Perkins, that stew is way better than EJ Perry. Also, we have the ankle concern of McCarron's.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to take St. Louis. I'm sorry, to be third. St. Louis will be third.
All right, the ankle is a concern, but if that is not an issue, then there's no way you can put Michigan above St. Louis. But anyway, go ahead, Jay.
You can't tell me Michigan's offense doesn't look way better than when they beat them with their shitty offense.
I think running over that piece of shit DC team is not going to.
What are you talking about? You've been on this show. You've been on the show hyping DC.
I was personally attacked by DC last week by them fucking looking as pathetic as they were. I went to the bat enough times for that goddamn team. The beer and someone else
put this fucking country ass.
As someone put as Jordan put in the chat, the power of the beer snake is officially dead. They cut it off by the head. They cut off the tail. It will not grow back.
No. So my 3 is St. Louis. I think Michigan's playing better than St. Louis right now.
J Mark, what do you got?
I got Stallions, Battlehawks, Panthers.
Okay,
1, 2,
fair
3.
enough. All right, let's go. Let's get to 4.
4 is tricky. 4 is tricky. I got Arlington.
I was just gonna say I'm going right back to the well where we had this a month ago.
I got
a couple
Arlington.
weeks ago. Arlington number 4. The one now.
Their
they got
season's
that one
over,
win.
Dude.
I know.
They
can really.
They could win the fucking championship. That's what I'm saying. Like,
no, they can't.
No, I know that. I know.
Can't.
Look, with their cockanimi rules, with all that bullshit that happened to San Antonio, you know what I mean? But they should. Like, to me, they're a playoff caliber team. When I watch them, I say that's a playoff team.
Right. The committee
rest
should
of the
take.
league,
Can't
after
they do
those 4? They don't play playoff ball.
Can they do a college football situation like your favorite sport? Can you take Florida State out of there and get the Brahmas out of there and put Arlington in? Let's go.
Feet says bring back NFL Europe. I agree. Or the original World League. Let's
absolutely.
go. Yeah. So yeah, I have Arlington at 4. I'm not joking. CJ, you too?
I do. I love Arlington at 4. Listen, I'm touting Arlington all year.
J Mark, who do you got at 4?
Yeah, the Brahmas, because they're going to be in the playoffs.
You can't put them at fucking 4. They're not 5-2. That's some blemish they put there. They're not. Such a stupid fucking league. God.
Have your car towed all the way to your house, and all you got for me is light beer.
San Antonio at 4.
Had to do it, sir.
Out of here.
I love it.
Like 8 yards of offense through fucking 57 minutes. Stupid. What a dumb fucking league. All right. At 5, I have DC at 5.
I know. It's almost by default. I don't know. I think DC is just pathetic now, and especially now with 0 quarterbacks. You know what? This is personal. I'm putting San Antonio at 5.
What do you mean, DC? I actually get the bet. They're going to pick up someone this week. He's going to be awesome. DeAndre Johnson's out there. They're going to get someone. They're going to get someone out there that's you're going to be. It's going to be like the Bryce Perkins situation 2.0. You're going to be like, what? He's in the league, and DC's going to ride off into the sunset.
But they have nothing else going for it. Their O line's terrible. Their D line's everything.
Receivers aren't that great either.
Everything's terrible. They're all terrible. The coaching staff's terrible.
This guy was hyping for 5 weeks. He sounded like the goddamn mayor of DC, right? He was saying,
"Yeah, I was like a different mayor of DC, Marion Barry, on fucking crack, thinking these DC defenders can do something." Although I still like them at 37-1 as a future, but they have no chance of winning in St. Louis unless McCarron's hurt. Well, then I will take them. All right, I'm back. I'm back in DC. Let's go.
You can't win.
J Mark, who do you got at 5?
Arlington at 5.
All right, at 6. At 6 is where things get very interesting.
Okay.
Because at 6, I have Houston.
Well, okay.
We just saw.
I see. What
we just saw on Sunday that they're better than San Antonio.
Who did?
Don't pay attention to the scoreboard. If you watch the game, you saw a better team. One team was way better than the other team.
What?
Where's my iPad?
Come on.
What happened to your offensive power rankings?
Yeah, no shit. What about yardage and all that shit? Coach, good Lord.
Well, you want to bring up their elite offense?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Houston's 7th. Dude, but I don't care what you say. Houston's got a better defense than San Antonio.
Yeah, I mean, Houston actually did look. I mean, obviously, they looked impressive for Houston standards.
No, they're better. They look better. One team looked way better than the other team, and for some stupid reason, they did not get a win in their column.
Yeah, well, but you can't look at just last week as the.
I understand that, but I'm frustrated. I'm never taking San Antonio ever again.
Fair enough. Yeah, these we might as well just call these the personal rankings instead of the power rankings.
What's San Antonio's record right now?
And I'm doing the both. You know, I'm saying both too. I did the same thing with DC. These are all spite rankings.
What is San Antonio's record right now? What is their record again? It's like 5-2, right?
5-2.
If you take away the 3 bullshit wins, they should be 2-5, which is very close to what the Houston Roughnecks and Memphis Showboats are. And actually, one of those wins were against both of them. So they would all have 2 wins. They're the same. Those 3 teams are the same. They're the same fucking teams.
I like it. What do you like better? Petty rankings or the spite rankings? I like both named for power. Power doesn't seem right.
Look, before we get to our bottom 2, I want to tell you that we're brought to you by Game Time. I know you're excited for our bottom 2, right? The UFL Gambling Podcast.
You think we hated those teams?
They're brought to you by Game Time. All right. Game Time is now an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, the MLB. All right. Which makes getting tickets even faster and easier. Prices on Game Time's app actually go down the closer it gets to the first pitch. With killer last minute deals, all in prices, views from the seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. look, I mean, what else do you want? Last minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals, easy to find and buy MLB tickets for every kind of not only baseball. They got everything. Comedy. You want to go see some theater. Boom, they got you covered. Anything, any type of entertainment, they got you covered. Lowest prices guaranteed, event cancellation protection, job loss protection, all that good stuff. So what are you doing? Hop on over there. Use the promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app. Create that account. Once again, CFBX, $20 off your first purchase. Get on over there. Download the app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed at Game Time. Oh my gosh. Final two teams. I got my cat fucking just, you guys hear my cat making noises? But anyway. Number 7 is I told you it's San Antonio. I won't put them at 8, even though I should, because two of their cockanemi wins were against the teams that are right there. But one team's totally quit, and we'll get to that. But that's my number 7 team. Who's number 7 for you, CJ?
I think I have Houston there at 7. Like I said, Curtis Johnson's just a mess. They can't score points. They're just but they are competing. They haven't given up. They do like Curtis Johnson.
That defense is good.
The defense is good, and they show up. He does get them to play. They might retire midway through the season and join you a week later, but when they do put the pads on, they do show up to play, and they will give you a game. So shout out to them for that, and shout out to
good round. You're celebrating with your appetite. Bad round. You're using your appetite to forget about the round. I'll tell you something about appetite. It's a real fucking great thing to have.
Who do you got at number 7 there, J Mark?
So, CJ, did you have DC at 6?
I believe I had DC
at 5. Yeah, he had 5 with me.
Yeah, well, maybe I
thought Brahmas was 5.
This guy didn't even know his goddamn order.
No, I'm looking at it now. I spike dropped him to 6. Yes, I spike dropped him to 6, and then San Antonio at 5.
CJ's doing his best, Curtis Johnson.
And I didn't get my 6 out. It was Arlington. And I have DC at 7.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay,
that's why I was confused.
Yeah, I have Arlington 4, San Antonio 5, DC 6.
Oh,
and yeah, right. I'm not a Curtis Johnson. I had no Marshall Faulk to make my career.
So we all have Memphis 8. The suspense is building.
Yeah,
I feel this is my proudest prediction of the season here, the UFL. I was steadfast since day one that Memphis is terrible, and I've stuck with them. I've never moved them out of this spot. Houston was the worst, but
who knew you knew John DeFlippo just like that?
Because I understand how the bastard thinks.
And that Cardell Lake defense is just absolutely horrendous.
Oh, these coaches are fucking horrible. I feel
this is the crankiest show on the internet. I love
it. Dude, how many times do you watch this every week? DeFlippo punted on a 4th and inches from like the 48-yard line. It's like, God. What are you doing? You're at midfield.
There were so many of them. Barlow did the same shit. Then they get rewarded and get the ball back. All these guys just punt. What the fuck are you doing? What are you?
How do you get that job? What's the pay? I need one of these jobs. I think I'm qualified. I can find the iPad. All right, I can find the iPad. And goddamn it, I knew Bryce Perkins was good. All right, scouting. We're there.
Oh man.
Anyway, J Mark, you got Memphis at 8, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, can't wait to watch this week's action. See which team gets their ass whooped and wins the game. What do we got? What games have meaning on this upcoming schedule for this week?
So the only 2 teams that are, I guess, Battlehawks, Brahmas, and Defenders are the games that we're waiting on. So Battlehawks and Defenders is the biggest one.
Battlehawks,
Defenders win that,
right.
They're still in the playoff.
The league really needs that. Everything else is figured out.
Right.
Now,
McCarron's going to maybe sit. Maybe he'll sit a week so that the Defenders can win.
Good point. And if DC loses and San Antonio loses, is DC still alive?
No. Yeah. Right.
I think they are. I think San Antonio needs to win and DC needs to lose for them to lock up a playoff spot.
San Antonio is definitely going to lose to Arlington. Well, I don't know, because now that they're officially eliminated, is Arlington punt on the season?
No, I think Arlington's just peaking right now. They love that they're eliminated. Now they don't think about it.
I don't know. I don't trust.
Arlington's the team you don't want to play right now for sure. No
well,
doubt.
I don't know if I trust the that. I guess because they're trying to get on film, but
of course they're out there. They're trying to get an opportunity. They're not going to. The only one who's phoned it in is Memphis.
I don't know, man. It's tough for me to sell myself, but I'll take Arlington. They're better. They're way better than San Antonio. Yeah. Anyway, the rest of the games this is a legit problem for the league, though. Saturday's game: Showboats Panthers. How boring does that sound?
Hey, Panthers are still trying to play get some home field. Never know what can happen there if people sitting down. They don't want this to be their last game at Michigan at Ford Field in this one. So they'll all be playing for something.
The Roughneck Stallions. This is the one the Roughnecks win, right?
That'd be kind of funny.
Letdown spot, that defense.
Yeah, when I looked at the schedule earlier today, I did kind of circle that, like maybe.
Yeah,
that could be the one.
They'll be getting at least 15 on that one, right? 15 to 17 points, I'm thinking.
Yeah. And so which game, I want you to forecast, which game will a team dominate the entire game and lose? Which one is it? I'm thinking it's Renegades Brahmas, because the Brahmas just have a knack for it. I think the Renegades will have 400 yards of offense.
No way.
The Brahmas will have 197, but the Brahmas will win the game.
No.
By 7 points.
Renegades aren't losing all year. They're running the table.
And say if the Renegades don't quit, since they're out, 37-12 is what that game will be.
They will fuck them up.
I see DC rallying for the season and then losing.
Yeah. DC Battlehawks.
So wait, which is the game you're picking though? Where the team
DC Battlehawks.
Yeah.
Where they lose the game, or the Battlehawks dominate the game, but DC wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Okay. I can see that. All right, folks, we'll be back. Hope you're excited.
Hope you're excited. Hope you got your daily dose of positivity from the UFL crew.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping.
I didn't lose any bets this weekend.
Fantastic.
As far as ATS. No, I did lose on the total in both Sunday games, you bastards. But anyway, yeah, give J Mark a follow. J Mark Football on Twitter. Check out the Old Fashioned Football Podcast. Me and J Mark are going live in like an hour and 40 minutes here on the CFL Gambling Podcast. Little preseason futures.
Nice.
Take you back to old Manitoba, Bet Detective. All right.
I was just gonna say, tell me what those Blue Bombers are at.
Yeah, they are the odds-on favorite.
Of course,
200.
But there's still value. There's still value in that.
They're a dynasty.
Give CJ Sullivan a follow. The Bottom Line Bob's podcast. Fantastic stuff. You guys talking? What do you guys? NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs. What else?
NBA, NHL. I had Hannibal Burris on today, or is known as Hockey Hannibal in the gambling worlds. And yeah, we had a great talk about just all things gambling and other things like that. But yeah, he gave out some hockey bombs, some NBA bombs, and of course my man in the box segment. There we go.
There we go. So check out the Bet Detective there. I'm on Twitter at DColbyD. And by the way, CJ's handle is CJ Sullivan _. Follow the College Football Experience and the Stadium Heads podcast, which I've been doing. We've been going deep sea diving on talking all the great college football stadiums. Go check out the Stadium Heads podcast. I touched on CFL Gambling Podcast as well. Check that out. It's on next week, folks. This is the until Thursday. This is the UFL Gambling Podcast. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot.